Hey guys, this video is about everything that can go wrong, will go wrong. I'm here at, I'm not even going to pronounce it, I'm going to put the name up. It's a beautiful location. It's an epic location. I've fully charged all my batteries, I've just switched my camera on and they were completely dead. So, in fact, I've just put 2 new batteries in and one of those is dead. So this is a mad, crazy morning. Phew. All right, rant over. So I'm just thinking about the composition. Let's see. So I've just shifted that and I think now the polarizer has created a blue vignette. See? You can see it coming in top left. So I've got to adjust that polarizer so that it goes just like that. So maybe, don't know whether to include that second rock. First of all, we'll go for this one. Classic image. It'll be 16 by 9. At the moment, we are at 1/4 of a second. That's f18. Knock that. We don't need that. Everything's far away. f11 is good enough. Hola. f11 is good enough. 1/6 of a second. I'm going to put on my I'm going to use my remote cable for the time being. Zip everything up so nothing falls out. Sun is terrible rising, so I may have to do some creative editing here. At least it's not too harsh yet, but it is an hour after sunrise. So, yep, we'll go for that 1/6 of a second. How quick is that? Done. Now I want to smooth out that water. So I'm going to put a 10 stop on. I'm going to, oops, the daisy kicking you. Let's put us up to F14. I want about a 10th of a second. Up to a 10th of a second. F11 of a 10th of a second is okay. F6, F14 looks good. F16 is okay. F16, 10th of a second, ISO 100. And if I pop on a 10 stop, I believe that will give me around a minute. Although I'll probably edge on the side of caution, seeing as absolutely everything has gone monstrously wrong. I'll probably put it down to about 40, 50 seconds. There we go. We've locked our focus. In goes the 10 stop. In goes the 10 stop. Up to a minute. There's not much movement in that sky. It's giving us a full minute. It's actually saying we can do 2. I don't need 2. Oh, here we go. Bingo. Location number 2. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to pop this over the edge of this wall and rather large drop. Let's see how we go here. There we go. First of all, let's reset ISO 100 and we had a 1 minute exposure. Actually, no, we'll go for the 10th of a second again, ish, because I need to focus stack. Okay, it's getting a little busier here. My 20mm is just about able to fit this scene in. This side is in some shadow, as you can see, but it is rather nice. 10th of a second, we can, yeah, about 10th of a second, 8th of a second is okay. So I'm going to take several shots here, working my way up this little beautiful spot, and I'm not worried about the people. They're moving, so I'll be able to move them, remove them, especially when I do the long exposure in a moment. They are quite small with the frame, and again I'm going to finish up on that castle. Sorry, church it is. There we go. Then I'm going to come back down to the mid-ground, halfway in, just focus there, and lock it, and now I can throw that 10 stop on, get 1 minute, smooth out that water, and decide which I prefer later. There is a rather large drop here, so I'm being especially careful popping in. Filters, and again these will have to be very delicately. It's saying we can go a little further this time. I'm going to take a chance on 2 minutes. I'm going to take a chance. There's a lot of dark and I think it's confusing the hell out of the sensor, but we'll go for that. We'll go 2 minutes. Give me an ultra smooth motion, but yeah, we'll see. Let's see what else we can choose and find here. Now I am limited because I've only brought the 20 to 35 millimeter lens with me. It's a hell of a hike back up, and I didn't want to carry as much weight as normal. So therefore I limited my camera bag. So the walk back up is all the way up to the top, all the way up there, and it zigzags up. It's not too bad coming down. It does get your thighs, but going back up is an absolute killer, especially for these old legs. Right, looking the other way. Again, I'm limited by the lens that I have. It's the 20 to 35, but I'm doing the best I can with the equipment on the day that I've got it. So yes, so again, I'm just pointing the other way. I've adjusted the composition so that I've got some of this rocks in the foreground that you can see here, and also I'm going to focus on this illuminated sea stack over there. I could probably move, and possibly I'm going to check before I take this, move to the left because there is an arch that's out there, and I'm just checking to see if it's a better composition over here. And the answer to that is yes. So we're going to shift very slightly. I'm going to take this one because the reason why I take this one is because I like this rock coming in from the bottom right. That sort of points directly at that clump of rocks in the water. I've focused on those clump of rocks. I'll have to do 2 shots on this, I think. One for the rocks on the right, and which will cover that rock on the bottom left, and one on the main subject that's illuminated in the middle. So we're just going to go straight away for a 2-minute exposure right now. Let's see how we go here. I always feel a little worried when I'm putting my camera way over a precipice. Maybe I can come back a touch. Just a touch. Oops, I'll move you in a sec. Once again, we've got our camera hanging over a very large drop, but it should be secure enough for us to do what we need to do here. I think I've been bitten. Okay, so I've centered the image, as you can see. I'm just deciding quite how much of this beachfront I want. And oh yes, we do get a tiny bit of that. We do get that rock coming in from the right, which I'm quite pleased about. I quite like that. I like that quite a bit. Now we're still up to a 2-minute exposure. I think I'm going to do several exposures here. I'm going to do probably one about 4 to 5 seconds to get some slow drag from these pebble beach in the water, and then a longer to smooth out the rest of that and to give the sky some interest. And you can't really, I'm talking to the back of your head, so let me spin you around here. Yeah, so I'm really pleased that we're able to get those rocks from the right. I'm all the way back at 20 mil, and I've focused on the far rocks, which are our first point of interest. So normally I do the focus stacking, but I've got the 10 stop on, so I'm just going to go for it. So let's just go for that 2-minute exposure. It's really to get some scudding in the sky more than anything else. Super smooth water with some of that beautiful, usually inky blue milkiness around those rocks. Hope I'm describing it aptly. And then we'll do a 2-minute focused on the nearer rocks, so that we've got everything as a long exposure in focus. And then I'm going to do several shorter exposures, probably only 2 along the coast on this curve of shingle. And I'm thinking anything between, we're far away, so anything between maybe a second and 4 to 5 seconds. Now, if I was down on the coast, if I was down there with that water lapping, because I'm much closer, I would need a shorter exposure time. I'd probably need anything from a quarter of a second, half a second, maybe up to a second, possibly, to get texture and get that beautiful flow and strands within there. But because I'm far away, that movement is a bit too delicate. You can still pick it up, but it's a bit delicate. So I want it to be a bit more punchy in the scene. So I'm going to go for probably start at a second and work my way up to 5 or 6 seconds, and just get that movement, swishing and wishing, swishing in about those pebble rocks. So this is very nearly done. Okay, so that one's done. As ever, I'm just going to check on that focus. There's nothing worse than traveling 15,000 kilometers or whatever it is to a location only to find that you've missed it. Focus on our second shot. So our second shot, and away we go. So that's two 2-minute exposures on the 2 rocks, and then I'm going to do some shorter ones on this water. But I have to say, the 2-minute exposure, the texture is really lovely as it is. So I may paint in some additional texture over the top, but the colour is absolutely beautiful. That's everything today. This is a little break that's gone horribly wrong for photography, I think, overall. Pure blue skies, unable to get into certain locations before dawn. Yeah, and back to pure blue skies. But I've had a great time. I hope you have too. I hope the images have turned out okay, not too boring with a blue sky. Hopefully I'll be able to edit them using probably some of Fuji's own film simulations. I'm thinking a Turner or something like that, just to make that blue soft and pastel-y. So that's my thoughts. So from the Church of San Juan and from Gaztelugatsa, something like that. Thank you for joining me here. Please look after yourself, look after your loved ones, and until next time, see ya.